The weather is warming up and now there are new plants, new wildflowers that are coming out, and so it's time to go gather some wild edibles and wild medicinals. Hi everybody, welcome to Living Traditions Homestead. My name is Sarah, and today I will be combing through this pasture area and collecting some things that I use on the homestead all throughout the year, and especially in my teas in the winter and during cold and flu season. So I thought I would bring you along and just teach you some tidbits about some of these wild medicinals that are out there. Could be at your place. Before we get started, I just want to let you know that I'm going to be telling you about how I use some of these medicinals. With a lot of these herbs and wild plants, there are a lot of things that they can do for you, and I really just picked them for a couple different reasons. So if you're interested, I encourage you to go online or look in books to see all of the fascinating ways that you can use some of these wild plants. Now, I also want to tell you that I'm not a doctor, and you need to take responsibility for what you're putting into your body and making sure that it's safe. If you're on medications or under doctor's care, you need to check with them before you take them as well. So before we get out there, it is major tick and chigger season, so I've made sure to dress appropriately, and I've used some bug spray to protect myself. It is like the worst tick season of all time, I think, and every day I'm getting them on me, so I'm just taking as many precautions as I can. We did a video about how to protect yourself from ticks and chiggers, and I will go ahead and put a link to that video right up here. Very informative. Before we get out there, what does every girl need when she goes foraging? A cute basket. So I brought my basket along. It's a bigger basket because I have high hopes for my success today. So let's get going. It's getting hot. We need to get out there and get these medicinals back into the house. There are three specific wild plants that I am hunting for today, and the first one I have over here behind me. This is yarrow. It's wild yarrow, obviously, and I'm hunting for it for two reasons. I will use the flowers, I will dry them, and in the winter when we are sick or have a fever, the flowers can act as a fever reducer. So I will dry these, and then I'll use them in teas to help us when we are sick. I will also be harvesting the leaves off of these guys because when you dry them and powder them, they can be used as a styptic powder, or you can use them on wound care to stop blood flow. So we actually use this when we're clipping our dog's toenails. If we accidentally cut too far and there's a little bit of blood on there, you can pack styptic powder or the powdered yarrow leaves down in there, hold it there, and it will stop the bleeding. It can do the same thing for wound care for you guys. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be harvesting the entire stem and the flower. I'll just put it in the whole thing in my basket and take care of separating those in the house and drying them separately. Yarrow and Queen Anne's lace, or wild carrot, they look quite a bit alike. The flowers look similar, their leaves kind of look similar, but in our area right now, only the yarrow is blooming. The Queen Anne's lace hasn't started yet. So if you're wanting to go harvest some, right now is a great time. I wish I could show you the difference between the flowers, but the Queen Anne's lace isn't blooming. But there is a difference if you learn between the two, especially in the leaves. They're quite easy to learn the difference. These yarrow flowers are beautiful. They're gorgeous white. They have, varying amounts of the white flowers depending on, the plant. Some of them can get nice and big. Some of them are even smaller than this. But you can see that the flowers are actually a bunch of little flowers all on one stem. They have a tiny little center part and then a couple, looks like 5 petals around each flower, tiny flower, and then down the stem are these really pretty wispy kind of fern-like leaves. And so I will be picking off all of these and harvesting them and drying them. So that's what the yarrow flower looks like. Well, I got a really nice first harvest, so much so that I need to go take these into the house so I have more room in my basket for the other things I'm looking for. Next one I'm looking for are Oxide Daisies. They are daisies that just grow naturally wild in the fields and on the sides of the road. And I have a little patch right here. They're actually kind of sprinkled in like all over the pasture area right now. The sides of the roads as you're driving around are just filled with these Oxide Daisies. Now I collect Oxide Daisies and I dry just the flowers, and I dry them whole. I use them as a decongestant when we have colds and are just stuffed up from allergies. I make a tea out of them, and it helps kind of unclog and decongest your sinuses. So that's why I'm picking them today. The last plant that I'm looking for is kind of like an overall multivitamin wild plant. I've been searching for something that has a lot of different uses that are significant to me and maybe people or women in general. And I have found that red clover is fabulous for lots of different areas that concern a lot of people. Red clover is good for promoting bone strength, especially associated with aging and women. As we women get older, we have reduced amount of estrogen, which can cause a lot of things that will progress the aging process faster than we might like. So red clover can help with menopause symptoms, which fortunately I'm not quite there yet. Red clover can slow down the aging process in your skin, your hair, your nails, and it also is a general anti-inflammatory, so joint pain, eczema, psoriasis, those kinds of things, and it's fantastic for the heart. It's also great for the cold and flu season, boosts your immune system, and just overall keeps you healthy. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so excited about red clover, so that I can kind of use it as a multivitamin. I can make teas, I can make tinctures to help keep me healthy. So let's go gather some. Red clover can be found almost everywhere. It's really common for us to have it in our pasture area, but you can find it next to your house, or sometimes it comes up in gardens along the roads and things like that. So it's pretty easy to find. Well, I have a pretty nice start of the daisies and the red clover. A good start for this year. I'll keep coming out here from time to time to pick some more. But the homestead is a busy place and I have to move on to other things. I can't just stand around picking flowers all day. I hope you guys learned something today, and I hope that you enjoyed learning a little bit about just some of the things that might be growing around you and what kind of value they may have for you and your family. If you are not a subscriber yet and you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and subscribe below. And if you are one of our faithful traditionalists that comes back every single day, 5 days a week to watch our videos, thank you so much. Until next time, you guys, thanks so much for stopping by the homestead. Take care and God bless.